Hello YouTube friends, Ben Ochart here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's video is my three favorite fish, what I call my three spectacular fish in each of my three main tanks. Today's video actually is dedicated to a couple subscribers, Tim and his 8-year-old daughter India over in the UK. Thank you so much for the nice message the two of you sent over on the Instagram page. All right, this video is for you. So let's get right into it. My three favorite fish in each of my tanks. Word of warning, those favorites could change between now and the end of this video. Things are always changing in the African Cichlid tank, as you know, and I'll get more into that as we go along. But here are the fish that I currently consider at this moment my three favorites. You tell me what you think in the comments below. Tell me if you think my choices are right, or maybe you think there's a different fish that should have been my favorite. If you think so, let me know, and also let me know if you think there's a fish missing in my collection. I'm always interested in your thoughts, and I do try to respond as time allows, all right? Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get right to it. We'll start in the 60 grow out, what I sometimes call my Juvie Hap Nation, hashtag Juvie Hap Nation tank. And as a shout out to hashtag Hap Nation over it with IFG. But in this tank, I think we have to include in the top three, certainly the Lethrinops red cap. This fish is, I believe, pretty spectacular. And of course, my Jallow Reef, who you just saw do a little cameo there, has also got to be included in the top three in this tank. The Jallow Reef, of course, one of my favorite fish. And you can see here he is developing very, very nicely. His colors will darken. He'll get a more pronounced yellow in the fins. The red shoulder is looking great, a fish I picked up at a local fish store for about $5 to $7, and a lot of promise with that guy. So the red cap and the red shoulder for sure are in the top three, and the Jallow Reef has to be included in that bunch. If I had to pick a runner up, we're probably looking at this little OB here, this orange blossom or orange blotch, depending on what you think OB stands for. But this OB has a lot of promise. I really love the red in its body, and I'm looking forward to watching him put on some size and watching the colors in his body start to become more pronounced. This sand diver, the rostratus, is in my mind showing great potential and promise, and I'm hoping this one's a male. Beautiful little fish. Moving over to the 100, and boy, it was a tough choice in here because, as you can see, I have quite an assortment and quite a bit of color going on in this tank. In the 60, the fish are pretty calm. In this one, I have a bit more activity, a little more chasing going on. But the flavescent that you see right there, the flavescent has got to be included in the top three, at least for me. Beautiful color, beautiful in both the body and the face. The Maduka white lips, very popular fish, gets a lot of comments. A Placidochromis, one of my favorite fish, and its close cousin right here, starting to get some chips, and that is my Star Sapphire. Those two, I think, are kind of a tie, and then we get into a new addition to this tank that just really stands out with the black gravel and the black background is this yellow benga that I picked up from Trevor O'Shea over at the Wonder of Cichlids. Just a beautiful fish, and you can see him there in the background. His face is a blue with a little bit of purple, and just a nice, very nice specimen, and a very nice addition to a tank that is primarily black. The yellow just really pops. As you can see here, I have the large sand diver in the 100 for some reason in the 150, the hawk and the Venusis decided that they had had enough of old Smoky Eye here, and they decided to go after him. I was keeping him in the sump, tried to reintroduce him back into the 150, but the Venusis and the hawk went right at it again. And so at any rate, here in the 30, in the QT quarantine tank, I have the yellow Jake, also from the Wonder of Cichlids. Look at the blue and the yellow that's coming through on this fish. Absolutely gorgeous. He's probably going to go into the 60-gallon, and he'll be certainly in the top 3 at that point. This fellow would be in the top 3, this strawberry. He was in the 100. But all of a sudden, I don't know, that cichlid switch that can flip sometimes, flipped in his head, and he just went nuts, and he is now in a timeout. Here in the 150, I need to include the certainly my tetrastigma, who I consider just a beautiful fish, and I've had him for a very, very long time. And so he would certainly be in the top 3 in the 150, and he has been through a lot. We have been through a lot together. And the Fusco, another fish that I grew out from a half-inch fry. And both of these fish, even though they have their moments, like all cichlids tend to, for the most part, they tend to just sort of keep to themselves. And as you can see here, they're just doing a little bit of grazing. That Placidochromis johnstoni is certainly a runner-up. That's a beautiful fish. But I've got to include in the top 3 this monster. This is my Nimbochromis venusis, who's pushing about 9 inches. Again, a fish I raised up from a teeny fry, and I picked him up like 3 for $10, and just a beast. So I would say that certainly the Autopharynx tetrastigma that you see here, with a strong runner-up from the Placidochromis johnstoni, and the Fusco are certainly in that top batch. And of course, you have to include that Venusis. So those are my 3 favorites in each of my tanks. But as I said earlier, tomorrow morning I might have different choices. What are your thoughts? Which ones are your favorites? Which ones do you think I should have included? And which ones do you think I'm missing from my tanks? Let me know. And I really thank you for tuning in. And be sure to come over to the Ben.o.cichlid Facebook group page. We have a lot of good stuff going on there, including a great new month banner contest that's going on, resulting in some goodies being shipped out to the winner. And also follow on Instagram at ben.o.cichlid. Okay? And again, thank you, Tim and India, for your support of the channel. That's it for me tonight. Good night.